What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another episode. Today I'm talking about, can you create a business with an entry-level camera? Well, can you? So before I created my little business, I bought the Canon M50 Mark II for about £500. That was about a year ago. And since then, I've just got better and better and better at shooting until I've upgraded to the Sony. Personally, I would say this is probably the best camera that you can get for its price to start a business. But it all depends on what you shoot and how you shoot it. It's not about the gear or anything like that. The Canon 50mm 1.8 STM. Camera and lens, both entry-level pieces of kit. Now, the lens will set you back about £100 off Facebook Marketplace or eBay. Brand new, probably cost you about 150 quid. In terms of lenses, cheap. And for its optical performance, absolutely incredible. You're wondering, how do you do it? How do you create a business using an entry-level camera? Well, that question is about experience. So when I first started out with the hopes of creating a business with this, I went out and shot some street photography. And the only reason I shot street photography is because whilst you're shooting street, you've got to be quick, you've got to dial in your settings, you've got to get used to settings, you can play around. It's a playground out there, but everything happens quick. So if your hopes are to be a wedding photographer someday, I would highly advise, in fact, I would say you need to, go and shoot street or wildlife, because those moments happen so quick, you can't miss a shot. And if you miss the shot, shit bossed. On to your next subject. Now, in weddings, you can't really miss a shot because somebody's paid you a lot of money to be there. And that is then entering the realms of being a professional photographer. So, I took my entry-level camera, went out on the streets, started getting used to the shutter functions, started getting used to the sharpness and all little characteristics of what this camera can do. And there's thousands and thousands and thousands of videos online with tutorials and reviews on the Canon M50 Mark II. But me personally, I would say go out and buy the Canon M50 Mark II. Purely because, for the price, you really are not going to get any better. Correct me if I'm wrong, leave it in the comments, but for me, the Canon M50 Mark II was a no-brainer. Now, it is a mirrorless lens. It's a mirrorless lens, it's a mirrorless adapter, which means you can only fit mirrorless lenses on the camera, or can you? So you can buy a mirrorless adapter that will fit onto the mirrorless lens, but then this part is an EF mount. So that's then where the Canon 50mm came in. Now this is an EF mount. Without this adapter, won't fit. With the adapter, fits perfect. So went out, 50mm adapter, M50. Shot for a couple of weeks, got used to that. Then I went down to my local gym. I asked, can I do some photography in here? I shoot for free, you know, promote your workplace, all that good stuff. Obviously there was up for it, free content for them, and a bit of experience for me. And this is the main thing. Don't be afraid of working for free whilst you're starting. Do not be afraid, because the experience is worth more than a paycheck. Well, that was inconvenient. Delivery man just come. Prick. So, shout out to all the delivery drivers out there. I am one myself. From there, they invited me back for a paid shoot. Now, I was only charging £50, and that was for photos and video. I wanted to try out the 50mm in video mode, get into videography. So my business, potential business, could be photography and videography. Great lens for video, absolutely incredible lens for video. Again, it's only a budget lens and a budget camera, but a business, another business, was happy with the content I was giving them. So it kind of got my brain going a little bit. So I kept going back. They wanted me to go back and create more content, and some of their clients who were working out in the gym obviously noticed what I was doing, started adding me on social media, noticing the content I was putting up on my socials and the gym socials. So then they asked me, can you do me a video or can you do me some photos? Obviously, yeah, you know, charge them 20 quid, between 20 to 50 quid. Anyway, I eventually saved up enough to get a bigger lens. Now this is the Tamron 24 to 70 EF fitting. When it's paired with the camera, it looks absolutely ridiculous, but this lens just smashed out the quality. and I mean smashed it out of the water. Videos, photos, everything. But then because my quality was getting better, and obviously I was getting better because I was shooting more people were noticing. So more people wanted to book me. So experience, that's what I'm trying to say. Get as much experience with any camera, but especially an entry-level camera, because it can only do a certain amount of things. So, a little bit of specs. So if you want to get professional, Peter McKinnon professional, you know, that sort of territory, you ain't going to do it with this, because this can only shoot 1080p. I tell a lie, it can shoot in 4K, but probably get better footage from a Nokia 3310. I don't even think they had cameras. So what I'm trying to say, this is a 1080p camera, so all of your footage from videos is going to be 1080p, but that's good enough for businesses, that's good enough for people's socials. So that's your video side covered. 24 megapixels packed into this tiny little thing. 24 megapixels is the same megapixels as my camera. Now, the Sony obviously works better in low light, and there's a variety of better lenses. So this camera will you will make a business from this camera. If you work at it and get the experience and are willing to work for free or for shillings, for all you older folk out there, do it. Literally do it. Because you don't have to have the most expensive equipment to create something. I've shot festivals with this. I've shot a lot of gym content, a lot of portrait shoots, a lot of model shoots. Video wise, I've done a lot of gym videos. I've even done a little film. I mean, it was only a minute long and it was of my kid. I was bored one day. But when I was sat in post and I was watching the footage back, colour grading it and adding all these little things, I was looking at it thinking, how has that come from this? So if you are thinking of getting into photography to create a business, the Canon M50 Mark II. And then the next thing you need, and I would say need, because it is an essential thing to have, the 50mm. So if you got these two, I guarantee you by the end of the year, you'll have another lens, you'll have a wealth of experience, and you'll have people who want you to keep coming back to shoot content for them. That, my friend, is a business. With a business, you need passion and drive to keep growing that business. I will always say to everybody, invest in your business. Don't be afraid to spend all of your profits and a little bit of your own side money, or if you know, in a full-time job. Don't be afraid to plow money into that business, because as long as you're getting better equipment whilst getting the experience and building relationships with customers and clients and their friends, you're going to have a fully fledged full-time business in a year or two, or you know, you might be lucky in a month of getting this. It can happen. What I'm telling you, you are the only one who can create this business. Nobody else, you and the drive. If you are an entrepreneur or want to be an entrepreneur, or you are a photographer and you want to create a business, you know, you're sick of shooting animals and insects and plants. If you are that person, advertise yourself. Shoot for free. Go to your local gym. Ask them if they want a photo shoot. Promote their brand, promote their gym. Go around the gym. Talk to members. If you're socially awkward, just shoot in the gym until somebody talks to you. And then get to know that person. And then that person might be up for having a shoot. Or that person might know somebody who's up for having a shoot. And again, do it for free. Or do it for very little money, because the main thing is experience. You could give this camera to Peter McKinnon and he could probably shoot an hour-long film that could win a BAFTA, but he could shoot an hour-long professional-looking film on this little thing, I guarantee it. The only downside, no 4K. Or if you're brave enough to use it, good luck, because I've used it once, never again. But upgraded and now I've got 4K. So don't be afraid. Invest in yourself. Number one, invest in your business. And number three, or two, invest in the idea of you answering to only you and you doing something you want to do and to be paid for it. Because that's why we want to do this. We have a passion, so what's stopping you? Because this little camera, this ain't gonna stop you. Go do it. Peace.